Why does a single compliment feel powerful? But only for a moment? Why does one negative comment outweigh 10 positive ones? And why do some people feel empty, even after receiving constant praise? The need for validation is human. But when validation becomes survival, it comes with a hidden psychological cost. Today, we re-exploring what constant validation seeking does to the mind and why it slowly disconnects you from yourself. Validation seeking is the attempt to gain approval, reassurance, or recognition from others to regulate self-worth. In healthy doses, it's normal. Humans are social creatures. We evolved to depend on belonging. But problems begin when self-worth becomes outsourced. Instead of asking, do I value myself? The question becomes, do they approve of me? When approval becomes the source of identity, you lose internal stability. Every time you receive validation, a compliment, a like, praise, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine reinforces behavior. It tells your brain, do that again. Over time, you begin chasing external approval not for connection, but for emotional regulation. The brain adapts. The same amount of validation feels weaker over time. So you seek more attention, more reassurance, more proof. But the relief becomes shorter, and the dependency becomes stronger. When you constantly seek validation, something subtle happens. You begin adjusting yourself to maximize approval. You filter your opinions. You soften your boundaries. You reshape your personality depending on who you're around. Slowly, you stop asking, what do I believe? And start asking, what will they accept? This creates identity diffusion. You perform instead of express. And the more you perform, the less connected you feel to your authentic self. Validation seekers often experience heightened anxiety. Why? Because their emotional state depends on external feedback. If praise comes, they feel high. If criticism comes, they feel destabilized. This creates emotional volatility. Their self-worth rises and falls with other people's opinions. And since you cannot control others' perceptions, you live in constant uncertainty. That uncertainty fuels anxiety. Chronic validation seeking often begins in early attachment experiences. If approval was conditional in childhood, based on performance, obedience, or achievement, self-worth becomes linked to external feedback. Love felt earned, not inherent. So adulthood becomes a continuation of earning worth. But worth is not something that should be negotiated. It's something that must be internalized. The hidden cost of constant validation seeking is loss of authentic identity, increased anxiety, emotional dependency, fear of disapproval, difficulty making independent decisions. You become hyper-aware of how you are perceived. And under that hyper-awareness is a quiet fear. If they stop approving, do I still matter? That question is exhausting. The solution is not isolation, it's internal validation. Instead of asking, do they approve of me? Ask, do I approve of myself? Practice small acts of self-trust. Set boundaries without over-explaining. Express opinions without rehearsing them for acceptance. Disappointing others occasionally is a sign of authenticity, not failure. When self-worth is internal, external validation becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Validation feels powerful, but dependence on validation is fragile. The more you chase approval, the further you drift from yourself. And the hidden cost isn't rejection. It's self-abandonment. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't demand applause. It doesn't collapse under criticism. It remains steady, even when no one is watching.